You know, a couple of years ago, or even months ago, you would have said that Joe and I would never be on the same side of anything. Everybody's laughing, Joe. We did too. But you know something? The good thing about this override is it's got Joe and I to talk. It got us to talk outside of the board. It got us back together to talk about what's good for the town to move forward. We're going to live here. I'm going to live here till I die. I'm not leaving here. I moved into this town because it was affordable. Yeah, I had kids. I had little kids. But I moved here because it was affordable. And everybody looks at the schools. I want to know what the MCAS scores are. And you had a school teacher standing up here and telling you that, yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't take money to make it right. It takes good teachers. It takes help from home, parents who are involved, which we know we have a bunch of parents involved, but I think their efforts are being focused in the wrong area. And you need a school committee and a management that's going to say, we're going to manage this properly. Do you know when they laid off 54 teachers a year ago or a year and a half ago, do you know they gave raises out? Some at the tune of 14%? It's unbelievable to me. And I know I've made a couple enemies over that, but they did. And you know what they said? We need to keep them here. You know, but the bottom line is, you don't give anybody that kind of a raise in a time when you're laying off teachers. You just don't do that. And when Joe DeRocco, I'm going to toot his horn, you may not hear this again, so enjoy it. Joe's loud. When Joe DeRocco proposed, and I agreed with him wholeheartedly, to take a 0% cut, to ask our employees, the town employees, to take a 0% cut. All the departments in town took a 0% cut for how many years, Joe? Two years. They took it for zero for 2 years. That's because they loved the town. Do you know what the school department did? No dice. They took their raises. Now, I'm not against education. My wife is an educator. My daughter is going to school to get a master's degree to be a special ed teacher. There has to be a priority set. And I just think their priorities are set in the wrong way. And I, for one, do not want to go bankrupt for a one-time deal of $2.9 million that's going to cost us forever, on top of a 2.5% raise every year, which is allowed under the law. I'm going to close with one thing. Over 19 years ago, I moved here. I said that earlier. I handpicked this town. My wife and I could have went to Tewksbury. We could have went to Danvers. We could have went to Peabody. We chose Dracut because it was a quaint little town. It was what we wanted. It had a great tax structure. It had a great, I looked into all this stuff about the budgets. I was really excited about moving to Dracut because I could afford it. I said yes to Dracut. And you said yes to Dracut. But I say no to this override.